Okay, I'm getting ready to hoop water-soluble stabilizer to do the napkin corner. I use this newfound, it's new to me, and I absolutely love it. It's adhesive-backed water-soluble stabilizer. So it feels like Baleen, but it has a sticky side on it. You peel, instead of hooping everything together, paper and all, and then scoring the paper to remove the center, I don't like to do that because you can't get the stabilizer very tight in the hoop. The paper gets in the way. It's a little too stiff. So what I've discovered, and I really liked doing it this way, is turn my hoop over. This will be to the bottom of your inner hoop. Peel off the paper from the stabilizer, and then just stretch it gently across the bottom of your inner hoop. And I actually stretch it a little. You can see how it caves in the center as I stretch. Tack it down in the center. Then I pull it to one side. Make sure it's tacky. I don't fold this over just yet. Turn my hoop around, do the same thing here. Pull it gently. Then pull the center gently. And then tack it down. Feel it. Make sure the corners aren't loose. Sometimes the corners tend to stay loose even though everything else is tight. You want to make sure everything's tight. Turn it back around now that this side is secure. Pull it, pick it up, pull it gently again. Get all the slack out of it. Make sure the corners are good. This one's a little bit loose, so I'll pull that corner tight. Everything feels good. Maybe I'll do this one a little more. Check all corners, center. It's nice and tight, almost like a drum. And now I press the rest of the edge down, the excess, against my hoop. Now I'm ready to put my hoop together. Make sure always, no matter what project you're doing, make sure that your hoop is all flat, the outer hoop is flush with the inner hoop at the corners, at the edges. And it's ready for stitching. Okay, so the first part of the design is the placement line. And I put some white paper underneath so you can actually see it. You would take your napkin, and if this were a rolled edge napkin, rolled edged hem, all you do is just place it in here and not worry about the edges. Well, you want to place the edges properly, but you don't have to worry about a hem being in it. And in a minute, I'll tell you exactly how to place it. But before I do that, I want to show you that I'm using a hem napkin. So what I did was I measured or eyeballed about a ½ inch. I put it in here to see where that would hit. I want to take my hem out to within a ½ inch from the end of this placement line, so that when all is said and done, this will be incorporated into the underside of the design. If you cut your hem all the way to the edge, then the satin stitch won't catch it, and you don't want that to happen. So I placed it in here, marked it with a pin, a straight pin, removed it. I marked about a ½ inch from the end of each line, put a pin here, removed it, cut away. I undid the stitches in the hem, cut away on the fold, on this fold, to remove the excess fabric, cut across right there where I stopped, or where the ½ inch mark would be. So now I can treat it like a rolled edge napkin. And then I place it into position here, and I want to make sure that the lines, that the fold of the napkin will meet up Exactly. You don't want this over the line, and you don't want it far from the line. You want it right at the line back here. You want to make sure your corner stays put. And if I had this sitting on the table, then you'd be able to, I'd be able to work this better. But you want to balance your corner out. This may not go all the way to the tip, and that's fine. You just want to place the napkin in there so that this edge, this fold is exactly to the line here. And if it's too far over like this, you need to move it again until it's just right. So both sides should be right next to the placement line without going over or without coming too short of it. Like so. Right there, right there. Then I will carefully, this is my sticky stabilizer, holding it in place. I will carefully carry this to the machine, or just put a pin in the middle and have it help me as I carry it to the machine without disturbing my placement. And start the machine again, and the machine will baste a few stitches on either side and then across the corner here, and then go on in the same color. We'll continue to do the scallop to tack down my corner, and then we'll proceed from there. Okay, here's the scallop stitched out. Notice at the very edges how it meets up, the napkin meets up with the edge of the, or with the placement line, and on this side too. You just trim it close, make sure that any stray threads that may stick to the stabilizer are removed, because you don't want those to get caught up in your embroidery, because some of this area is where the acorns will stitch out. And when you trim the scallop away, be sure to not cut into your stabilizer. So that's the only thing you need to be very cautious about when trimming away, that you don't actually cut through your water-soluble stabilizer. And we're ready to stitch. Oh, and I did want to point out once again the basting stitches. They are long stitches. They don't have securing stitches at the ends or at the beginning. They're just there like pins. And they're very short little lines that, as necessary, because the fewer holes in your linen, the better. And we're ready to go.